So when you look at that process of like helping somebody build like a marketing plan, like where do you even start? It's like sitting down to write a book. Like where do you start?
Well, that's a great question. So we develop a gap assessment, and the gap assessment allows us, whenever we work with a client, we're going to take the first 2 months to take a deep dive into where they're going. Now, 9 times out of 10, it's going to go into what we call our system-based model. And let me kind of show you what that looks like. So our system, can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Give me 1 second here. So I'm going to share my screen. How about now?
No.
No. Okay. All right. Just give me 2 seconds here.
Good. Sure.
How about now?
I got it. Now.
So this is a system we built over 19 years. A lot of it shouldn't feel like rocket science, but what you should know here is that we believe in what's called a flywheel. And a flywheel essentially means that if you generate really great marketing and then you nurture that process and convert that process and have a system to ask for referrals, those referrals and the really great work and the really great products and services that you have turned into more leads. And so what happens is it self-generates. But the part of this process that we think is very important is to understand in the beginning, who are your potential buyers? And so we develop a gap assessment to try to figure that out. The next thing we do is something called usability conversion analysis. This is a piece of software that goes on your website. It's a heat mapping software that looks at people's eye movements, their mouse movements, where they're going. It looks at the forums to figure out why they might be leaving early. It looks at how far are they scrolling. I can literally find out when you watch a video, the people's names who are watching this video and how long they watched it. Then in this process, we want to look at your SEO. If it's not a guarantee that SEO is always important for your industry, but 90% of the businesses, it does. It is important rather. Then you look at your content strategy, your whole lead nurturing strategy, which is probably the most commonly ignored strategy, your social media, paid advertising, video development, and then analytics and reporting. All right. So that is sort of what the entire system should look like. So when you go and you develop a plan, what I want to be able to do is know this is the system, this is the framework. And when I know kind of the spinal cord of this whole thing, what I can do is I can get very specific about how content basically weaves in and out of that system. When you don't do that, it's kind of like, it's kind of the Wild West.